What is up, guys? So The Flash Season 5 confirmed a new character who will probably be the main villain of the season. Well, not really confirmed because it's just a casting call, which means the name won't be the same name as the character the character will actually be, because they don't want to reveal who the character is, and they name in a different name for the actual actors, because there's an actual audition reel for two different actors, and they talk in that scene as Desmond Paul, because if the actors don't get the role, they can't spoil it to people who the character is, and for some reason they don't want to reveal who the character is just yet. So as of now, his name is Desmond Paul, but it's pretty clear going off the character description, everything people have been speculating up till now, and as well as the leaked end credit scene from the Flash Season 4 finale that was cut, it's pretty clear who this character is. So with that in mind, though, make sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe, and let's get into this. So this character's name is Desmond Paul. But again, it's not going to be Desmond Paul, it's just a casting call. His real name in the show in Season 5 will almost definitely be David Hirsh, and his description reads, Desmond is a metahuman after a mysterious interaction with dark matter, was given not only immortality but also the gift to disable other metahuman powers. He blames metas for everything that has gone wrong in his life, and because of that, his mission is to wipe Central City free of them in order to silence his own anguish. So this character description definitely fits Cicada in some ways, but in other ways it doesn't, because it definitely fits it with the immortality thing. His power in the comics, he has a sort of immortality, and his lightning dagger is like it can suck the life force from people or something like that, and it gives him immortality to an extent, so that fits. But the other thing, the fact that he blames metas for everything that has gone wrong in his life, and because of that he wants to wipe Central City of metas, is not at all what his thing is in the comics. I'm not really sure what it is. I think he thinks he's linked to the Flash and wants to kill everybody the Flash has saved. I think that's really his motivation in the comics, which I'm glad they changed that. That's kind of stupid, especially for a main villain. It will be fine for a villain of the week, but for a main villain, that's not the best motivation. So this is definitely better, but this doesn't fit him. This doesn't fit Cicada, but I think that this is Cicada, and they just changed things up probably for the better. So it says that he has the ability to disable other metahuman powers, which sounds way too overpowered, and I don't understand how the Flash could actually fight someone like that, because if Cicada can actually turn off his powers whenever he wants, then he can't really put up a fight. Barry can't put up a fight unless he could put up a fight, because he could just stop time like it does in Enter Flash Time and just kill Cicada before he can even disable his powers. But we all know that's not going to happen. We all know he's not going to use that ability like that. So the fact that Cicada can disable their powers, other metahuman powers, maybe not all of metahuman powers, doesn't say disable metahuman powers, it says other metahuman powers, so I'm not really sure what they're talking about, because if they're talking about all metahuman powers, then that would be crazy overpowered, especially when the main hero is a metahuman who relies entirely on their metahuman powers. So it wouldn't make any sense for the villain to actually have the ability to literally just shut off the main hero's superpowers. Like Arrow Season 4, Damien Dark was kind of like that. He was able to just shut off Oliver's abilities by just leaving him in place, meaning he couldn't fight, he couldn't shoot an arrow, and that really didn't work. So in this season, if they do the same thing where Desmond Paul or Cicada or David Hirsh can just shut off Barry's powers whenever he wants and make Barry not able to do anything, that might not work for a season of The Flash, where really like the best part about the show, or maybe not the best part, but the drawing part of the show is the Flash and his abilities, and that's like one of the big things about the show. So if in every single main villain fight, Barry doesn't have his powers, and none of the metahumans have his powers, then the fight would kind of be really stupid. Like I said, comparing it to Arrow Season 4. So if it means all metahuman abilities, then that would kind of suck. If it means other metahuman abilities, like not all of them, maybe some of them, maybe all of them, except for the ones that have like a dependency on something else, like the Speed Force, which I think would be a good way to explain it. He could turn off all metahuman abilities, like Vibe's abilities, Killer Frost's abilities, who is basically disabled already right now, but not Speed Force connected abilities, because they're connected to the Speed Force, they're dependent on the Speed Force, so they have another thing keeping them going outside of their actual metahuman abilities. It's their connection to the Speed Force. I think that would be a cool way to explain it, and to have just these one-on-ones without the rest of Team Flash fighting Desmond Paul, and As for his motivations, I think it's, like I said, it's not comic book accurate, but I think it's so much better. It makes so much more sense. I don't know why he blames Meadows for everything that has gone wrong in his life. Maybe it's because Meadows killed his wife in this universe, because in the comics, he's actually the one that killed his wife. Maybe what happened is that he got his metahuman abilities, but killed his wife because of that by mistake, because he killed his wife in the comics, and they might take that onto the show. I'm not really sure, but the fact that he blames Meadows for everything that has gone wrong with his life, it makes me think like they're gonna have a flashback to like season 1, 2, or 3, or maybe even 4 of the Flash, where a metahuman killed his wife or killed somebody in his family or like screwed him over or something like that because they were metahumans. So he blames metahumans for everything, but which he is a metahuman himself, and presumably he's been a metahuman since the beginning. Again, presumably, unless he's like a metahuman connected to Nora Allen's mistake from the season finale of season 4, but I highly doubt it, just because he doesn't seem like a futuristic character or a character that would be connected to Nora Allen or anything like that. So I'm not sure about that. He might have been a metahuman from the start. So that would be weird if he like blames metahumans for everything, but he is a meta himself. So it's like a self-hating kind of thing, and he wants to wipe out metahumans. I mean, it's probably gonna happen is like he's planning on killing all the metahumans and then actually killing himself at the end, because he's a metahuman himself. So I'm actually kind of excited to see where that goes. And I think this, like, a lot of people have brought up parallels between the Flash and Arrow. I even made a video about it before the Flash season 4 started, called Will the Flash season 4 suck because Arrow season 4 sucked, and all the connections that they had. And this is another one. The motivation of Desmond Paul, Cicada, aka David Hirsh, it might be a little bit similar, not like exactly similar at all, but maybe a little bit similar to Prometheus, because they're both like a revenge thing. Prometheus wanted to get revenge on Green Arrow for killing his father, Justin Claiborne, and now Cicada wants to get revenge on all metahumans for doing something that we haven't even figured out yet. So I think that parallel, even though it's a little bit reaching, I think it is something, and it's a parallel between two shows that have been brought up a lot. These two, like, every season has a lot of parallels with each other, and I think season 5, if this is true and season 5 is as good as Arrow season 5, then that would be awesome. And if I keep on saying Desmond Paul, if Cicada is as good a villain as Prometheus, then that would be incredible. But for some reason, I am doubting it. Not because I think Cicada will be a bad villain, because it's just because Prometheus was an incredible villain, and I don't think somebody like Cicada will probably not live up to that. And just going off the character description, I'm sure he's probably going to be a good villain. I mean, every single the Flash villain, except for Savitar, was a good villain, so maybe Cicada's probably going to be as well. One interesting note is that Cicada's not a speedster, so it'll be 2 seasons in a row where a speedster is not a main villain, and I think they shouldn't have done that. I think they should go back to a speedster this season and then go back to another non-speedster next season, just because it's weird how they did 3 speedsters in a row and then 2 years in a row without a speedster. They probably could have done like 2 speedsters, 2 non-speedsters, and then a speedster, but I think this season should have had a speedster, just because in season 4 there was like only 1 or 2 episodes with actual speedster battles, which is something I really missed. Like those races that you see, they're really exciting, and I wanted to see more of those, so it's kind of disappointing that this season doesn't have a speedster villain. I mean, it might have a recurring speedster villain, and I really hope that recurring speedster villain is not Godspeed, because I want him to be a main villain, not a recurring villain. But I think that if this season has a recurring speedster villain, not Godspeed, but a recurring speedster villain, and has actual speedster battles, and that would be pretty awesome, because season 4 kind of lacked speedster battles. It had like an episode 8 in the crossover, and that actually wasn't even in the Flash episode. It was in Legends of Tomorrow episode, so I definitely missed those speedster battles, which is why I'm slightly disappointed this season's main villain is not a speedster like Godspeed, but instead is a character that I've actually never heard of before all this thing about him has come out, and that is Cicada. But who knows, we'll have to wait and see if he's going to be a main villain, or not a main villain, but a good villain. But anyway, let me know what you think about the new main villain of The Flash. If this is the main villain of The Flash, we aren't 100% sure, but the character description phrases it like he is a main villain, like he is going to be the big threat of the season. It's also been confirmed that the season the main villain will not be a speedster. That's actually been confirmed. I wasn't going off of just the character description. It was actually confirmed, so it's probably Desmond Paul, or in quotation mark, Desmond Paul will probably be the main villain of the season. But let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. Let me know if you're excited for Cicada to be the main villain in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching.